Hello students. Now the complete explanation of program 2A I'm going to explain now. So first we will see what is program 2A. So here this program 2A teaches you the concept of inheritance, where we have a superclass named as staff, and it should have the following details: staff ID, name, phone number, salary. So then we have to extend this class. This class is extended by 3 subclasses. The subclasses are named as teaching, technical, and contract. So the common attributes for the subclasses, that is teaching, technical, and contract, are staff ID, name, phone number, and salary. So these 4 attributes are placed in the staff superclass. And apart from this 4 common attributes, the specific attribute only related to teaching staff is domain and publication. Similar way, the only attribute that is specific to technical staff is skills, and the only attribute that is specific to contract person is the number of the period of time is going to be attached with our institution or company. So all these three persons, that is teaching, technical, contract person, 3 types of designations are having 4 things in common, that is staff ID, name, phone number, and salary. Okay, apart from this 4 common things, the teaching staffs has domain and publication in specific, the technical people have skills in specific, and the contract person has the period of time is been attached with our company. So what we are going to do, we will create a staff class, super class, and have these attributes in that class. Plus we have 2 member functions in the staff class, which named as accept and display. So that accept and display will accept the staff ID, name, phone number, salary of the people, and also display it, So let us see the program. And so now here there is a class named as staff, and there are 4 attributes, that is staff ID, name, phone number, and salary. Okay, so now here there is an accept member function which accepts the staff ID, name, phone number, and salary. Next, this is a class named as staff. It's a super class actually. Now here there is a display function, member function, which displays the staff ID, name, phone number, and salary. Now coming to the class called as teaching. So the teaching class extends the staff class. So since the teaching is a child class and the staff is a parent class. Now this teaching class has 2 things in specific, that is domain and publication. So now the teaching class also has 2 member function, that is accept as well as display. Now here you have to observe very carefully in the accept function of the teaching class. In the accept function of the teaching class, there is one more accept function called that belongs to superclass. Whenever you see a super keyword before the accept class, then that accept member function belongs to the superclass, that is this accept function, which I have shown here. Okay, when you see a super keyword preceded before the accept member function, that accept function belongs to the superclass. Now this accept function belongs to the teaching class. Now, when you call this accept function that belongs to superclass, what it does is it accepts the staff ID, name, phone number, and salary of the teacher. And then what it does is it comes to this line. We are declaring a new scanner here. So using that scanner, the specific attributes that belongs to teacher, that is domain and publication, is being taken. After that, so we are telling to enter the number of publications. So if he has 2 publications or 3 publications, we are just checking. Suppose you have 3 publications, we use a for loop, and this for loop is executed thrice, and the 3 publications are stored in an array named as publication. Now next, the display function for teaching class. What it does is, inside that it calls the display function that belongs to the superclass. Now what it does, this display function prints is actually this display function, which prints the teacher's staff ID, teacher's name, phone, and salary. Then what it does is it comes to this printf statement, prints the domain and publication details of the teaching class. Similar way we see for technical staff. The technical staff extends the staff class, and the technical people has one specific attribute called as skills. So again it has a accept member function and display member function. This accept member function calls the accept member function of the superclass, which takes the name, phone number, salary, and ID of technical staff. After that, we are here, this code specifically tells the user to give the skills that is this technical staff has. So we use a scanner, read the skills, number of skills, and let it be operating lathe machine or setting right the electronic devices, like this, different skills. So take those skills and store it in the skills array. Now, after that, next is the display function. The display function first calls the display function that belongs to the superclass, which displays the staff ID, phone number, salary, and salary of the technical staff. Plus, here this particular code prints the skills that the technical staff has. Coming to the last person, the contract person, again it has a accept member function and display member function. So we again call the accept member function that belongs to superclass. Then after calling it, we are taking the name and all the 4 common attributes of the contract person. Plus, next thing what we are doing, this particular code takes the number of months that this contract person will be associated with our institution or industry or anything for that matter. Next, the display function. We are calling the display function that belongs to superclass. Then we are printing the period that the contact person will be associated with us. Then here there is a main class which has a main function. Let us enter the value of n. So how many teaching, how many technical, and how many contract persons data we want to take. Suppose we take n value as 1, 1 teacher, 1 technical, and 1 contract person details we are going to take. Then we use a scanner. So we create a object for the scanner class. Then we take the value of n. After that, we are creating 3 new objects that belongs to teaching class, technical class, contract class. Next, then we are from the keyboard for the value of n, depending upon the value of n, we are telling to enter the teaching staff details, technical staff details, and contract staff details. And each time we are calling the accept member function. This accept member function belongs to teaching class. This accept function belongs to technical class, and this accept function belongs to contract class. Similar way, afterwards, we are going to print the teaching staff details, technical staff details, and contract staff details by using display function of teaching class, display function of technical class, and display function of contract class. Okay, then this completes the program. So once I'll show you the full program. So this is the staff superclass, which has a accept member function, which accepts 4 attributes that is common to teaching, technical, and contract person. Similar way, it displays those details. Next here, the teaching is a child class of staff, which extends the staff class, and then we saw how it uses the accept member function of superclass, and we saw how the display function works. Similar way, it goes for technical staff and display contract person. So this completes your program 2A. And again, there is one more part in program 2, that is 2B. Let us see that program. So I'll share one more screen, that is program 2B.
Please keep the video on. Pradita, Abhishek, video on. Program number 2.
Now this is your second program. It's called, we'll see what second program does. Here I'm going to teach you the concept of string tokenizer. So what does a string tokenizer does? So first I'll show you the entire program. So here we have to take the date in this format. We have to take the date in this format. So date has date, month, and year. So first, after taking the date in this format, it has a string tokenizer. The string tokenizer used here is backslash. So this is a backslash. Here there is a backslash that separates day from month and year from month. Now we have to, this is called as delimiter. This backslash is called as actually delimiter. Then what is telling to do is take the date in this format, then separate the date, month, and year by using a comma symbol. Let us see how it works. Now here there are 2 import functions. That is, one is for scanner and one more is for string tokenizer. So here there is a class named as customer. It has 2 attributes, that is name and date. So first here we are having a member function called as read. So in this read member function, what we are going to do is we are first creating an object which is named as input for calling the object for the scanner class. Using that input, we are reading the customer name and we are storing it in the variable name. Next, we are telling to enter the date. Then using this input object that belongs to the scanner class, we are taking the date and storing it a variable called as date. So this is the read function. Next, the display function. In the display function, the delimiter, what we are specifying is backslash, and the date which is given in this format. The date which is given in this format is separated and it is printed by using a comma. Example, dd, comma, comma, year. So we are separating the date by using a comma that is given here. Next, string delimiter is used as backslash. Then we are using a string tokenizer. So the string tokenizer can be performed by using the input. The input given is date and the delimiter is backslash. So when the first backslash is reached, so we separate the date. from the month. And when the second backslash is reached, we separate the year from the, we separate the month from the year. Then the last input is nothing but year. So three data is there. One is day, one is a month, and one more is year. So these three data are separated by a delimiter called as backslash. And by looking at the black, when the first backslash is reached, we separate the day and insert a comma. See here, and insert a comma. And the next element, see, the st is an object, and that is pointing to the input date. And when the first delimiter is reached, the day is removed, separated, and a comma is inserted. Then has more elements will work till this date has inputs in it. Now the day is being, when the while loop executes for the first time, the day is being separated and a comma is being inserted. Next, the next input is month. So the month is separated from the year and then a comma is being inserted. And the third, the last element is the year, and the year is being separated. All the three data have been separated. Now all the elements in the date is over. Then this while loop stops repetition. Next, what we are going to do is we are printing a new line, and then there is a main function here which tells you to enter the customer details. We are declaring an array of type customer. We are declaring an array of type customer, and then we are declaring a object for a scanner. Then we are telling to enter the customer details, number of customers. So the number of customers can be 1, 2, or 3, anything. So depending upon the value of n, there is a for loop. And using this object customer.i, we are going to read the customer details. So after reading it, we are calling the member function read. And next, after reading the customer details, we are calling the member function display. Once we are calling the member function display, the display function, what it will do, based on the delimiter, the date will be separated in the form of day, month, and year, and comma will be inserted. So that is what is your second program, which explains you the concept of string tokenizer. Okay. So this particular date is separated by day, month, and year by inserting comma in between day, comma, month, comma, year. So this is your second program. So I'll show you the program once fully. So the two programs I have explained. So one is program 2A and one more is program 2B.